Yes, please.
Please come.
Morning, ma'am. Morning, sirs.
Good morning.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please tell about yourself.
Sir, my name is Abhimanyu Malik. I'm born and brought up in Sonipat, Haryana. I've done my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IMC University of Science and Technology, Faridabad. I've done my MA in Political Science from IGNOU. I'm working in NABARD since December 2016. I'm currently posted as Assistant General Manager in NABARD Rohtak Cluster Office. And sir, my hobbies include playing table tennis, shooting volleyball, and singing.
Have you given the UPSC interview earlier?
Yes, sir. I have twice taken it before.
Okay. And what was your score there?
Sir, last year I got 193.
193.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
yes, sir. Previously I got 165 in 2016 second.
But did you end up in any service?
Yes,
No.
sir. I got DADIX last year.
Botanics.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So did you opt for that or you didn't agree to joining that?
Sir, I have currently taken extension for it.
Okay. But you intend to join Manex
Yes, sir.
over AGM NABARD?
Yes, sir. It's a tough call. But
Yeah, not worth it at all. If I was in your place, no. Seriously.
yes, sir. You had advised me this last year.
Yeah, not Manex, not at all. Anyway, your choice. NABARD is a very good option. Anyway. Okay. So let's start. What is this YMCA?
Sir, YMCA stands for Young Men's Christian Association. Sir, it's an international organization which has its genesis around 1840s in Europe. And its main aim includes instilling Christian values and also guiding the youth towards sports and education.
Okay. Now you got a letter of appreciation for crop diversification project.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And for pesticide reduction also. For alkaline soil reclamation. So a lot of work you have done in the agriculture sector.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, honestly, on what basis does the farmer decide what crop to sow?
Sir, farmer as an economic rational actor, sir, it also decides upon the basis of remuneration that it would get from a crop.
Okay.
This is the first and foremost requirement of it.
So we have been talking of soil cards and all that for so long.
Yes, sir.
Let's be honest. What is the percentage of farmers who actually have soil card now and who understand what that means?
Sir, if we talk about the percentage, I believe that more than 90% of the farmers have the soil health cards. But for those who understand it, sir, the figure is very disparate, I would say. Secondly, sir, even after
What is your guess? What percentage of farmers actually understand what soil card is all about?
Sir, less than 10%.
Less than 10%.
Yes, sir.
So that's a disaster.
That's a disaster, sir. And even unfortunate is one more thing that even after understanding it, still applying the requisite amount of fertilizers, that is also not there, sir.
Okay. Now government is talking of nano urea and nano this thing, DAP. Why? What happened?
Sir, nano urea is still in, I would say, experimental stage, sir. And it has a lot of potential because I have seen a few trials of liquid nano urea.
Yeah.
And somewhere the yield is almost comparable to what we have when we have the conventional urea.
Is it comparable or better?
Sir, it is doubted to be better, but currently what I have seen in my limited knowledge, it is at least comparable.
So then what is the saving then?
Such a saving would come on the government's part. Like we have a huge fertilizer subsidy bill.
Okay.
So the farmer has to spend almost the same amount of money. So the share of farmer does not increase, but the share of government would definitely increase.
And does the soil health change by nano urea and nano DAP?
Yes, sir, because in that case there is no excess use of it, and also the liquid nano urea is basically it falls on the leaves, so it does not really go to the roots that way.
That's
And
absorbed by the leaf, yes.
yes, sir. So that way, sir, it does not really have any deleterious consequences for the soil health.
So when was this nano urea, nano DAP announced and introduced in our country?
Sir, I'm not sure, but it was like quite recent, just a couple of years back that we have.
So what would you say? As experiments, we have failed with this, or we are succeeded, or what?
Sir, we are succeeding in this direction. And
Succeeding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The results showing it, sir.
Now, have you monitored the offtake?
Sir, only issue is that the farmers need to be more provided proper training for like proper utilization of
So,
it.
on what basis you are saying that we have succeeded?
Sir, successful as in that the productivity does not decline.
That's okay. Success is commercial success.
Yes, sir.
Building tanks of nano urea won't help. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. On what basis you are saying that it has become a success commercially?
Sir, commercially, still there is a lot of gaps, sir. But these are initial years and it's still in the experimental stage. So I believe after a few years, definitely the offtake would be quite high for this because the product is really good.
Okay. Please.
Morning, Abhimanyu.
Good morning, sir.
You come from Haryana?
Yes, sir.
Well, Haryana has been in news for some reason or the other. And what is really pinching me at this moment is the issue of women empowerment, considering the fact that parallelly you have Khap Panchayat coming in and coming out with some kind of a dictum. Give me a free and frank opinion as to your take and your perception on the whole gamut of the issue.
Sir, Haryana has shown a lot of potential for economic growth since past couple of decades. But sir, we see a lag is there when it comes to women empowerment and status of women in our society. But the good thing is that the status of women is improving over the period of time. And so there were certain dictats.
And how do you say that?
Sir, if we see in terms of child sex ratio, so that has seen a significant improvement in the past 5 years, sir. It has.
What is the current ratio?
Sir, child sex ratio has increased above 920.
920.
In the current scenario, sir, and there's an increase of almost 50 points over the previous figure. Yeah. Secondly, sir, we see a lot of women now coming up in different domains, be it sports, be it beauty patients, be it education and in services in job sector. So we see a marked improvement. Second issue is the dictates of Khap, which have been making news not for very good reasons in the past, and there have been some dictates like abrogation of marriages or social ostracization of women, and also like banning of mobile phones and jeans. But sir, over the years, I see that even the Khaps have now taken a backseat because there is a lot of pressure building up upon Khaps from the judiciary, from the government, and also from the society at large. So for them to remain relevant, they need to go with the flow, and they cannot challenge the overwhelming thinking of the society, which is now becoming more progressive day by day.
But it doesn't have a Khap Panchayat doesn't have a constitutional sanctity.
Indeed, sir, they don't have a constitutional sanctity.
And do you still think that their existence does make any relevance?
Sir, they have remained in the system for around 1,000 years, and it does not really it's not necessary, sir, that only constitutional sanctity matters. For social institutions, they can exist without that as well. But for them to remain relevant in the 21st century, they need to change the way they are conducting themselves. Like, sir, few halves have taken good decisions like banning of Dowry by Pura Khab, and also their campaign against the female infanticide and feticide.
Fair enough. I take your point. Get to the next question, please. That would be to do with the Artemis Accord. You heard of Artemis Accord?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Sir, it's an initiative by United States, basically to coordinate the activities for lunar operations by different countries.
And has India signed to that accord?
Yes, sir. India has signed it in 2023. Now we are a part of it.
And when would be the first launch anticipated?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. Have you heard of this concept, one district, one product?
Yes, sir.
What is this and how is it going, and where are we as on today?
Sir, one district, one product is basically to popularize the major product of a district, which has been a kind of, either it has been a heritage or it is popularly known for that product. So, main focus is to develop the value chain of it and also expand its footprints in the export markets.
Yep.
That remunerative prices are provided to the producers and craftsmen of that product.
Okay, so if in the case of Sonipat, what product would you identify?
Sorry, sir.
So anyway, we go to the next question. Your experience, I was just having a look at your DAF. Give me a second. Yeah, you have a political science background.
Yes, sir.
Now, in political science, there have been a lot of philosophers, lot of writers, lot of thinkers. You are going for a bureaucracy. Which political thinker that comes to your mind, which has a relevance even in today? And once you identify, explain to me why.
Sir, I would say that Aristotle, the famous Greek philosopher, has a lot of relevance in today's time and perhaps all times that we have seen. And when it comes to the foreign policy domain, I would say, sir, Chanakya has a lot of relevance in perhaps.
But his primary domain, have you read Arthashastra?
Sir, I have read a few things in
Okay.
Arthashastra.
So what has the cardinal thing which he has talked about in terms of the domestic economy and in terms of taxation? There's a famous quote of in Kottapalya. Kottapalya has given in Arthashastra on taxation. Aware of it?
Yes, basically he prescribes for a very good taxation system and he focuses upon an enhanced revenue collections because it is only with the revenue that the king can ensure welfare of its people, which is the cardinal principle.
And what is the example which he has given? What is the example which he has given in that book? That how one should collect, how a revenue administrator should collect a tax? Very simple example he has given.
Sir, it's like collecting nectar from
Right.
the flowers and the leaves
By a bee.
by a bee, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Abhimanyu, and I'll pass on to the next member, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, Abhimanyu, there was some agitation by some sportsperson, lady sportsperson in particular. What was the issue?
Sir, there was an agitation by some of the wrestlers and very famous wrestlers of our country who have brought laurels to us. And the issue was mainly pertaining to the sexual harassment allegations against the then WFI president, the Bhushan Sharan Singh.
Okay. So what was the end game?
Sir, Shri Brij Bhushan Charan Singh resigned from his post, and there was an inquiry conducted by the Delhi police, which is still going on against him. And fresh elections were held for the WFI presidentship. And the newly elected president.
So there was again allegation.
Yes, sir. There were allegations like the proper channel was not followed for announcing the national.
Fine. Okay. Now tell me, how is it that girls, sports women from Haryana are doing so good? Whereas otherwise, Haryana does not carry a very, what should I say, very bright image about women empowerment and all that. Well,
Sorry.
but still, contrary to the popular perception, the girls from Haryana are doing so good. They have got so many laurels, so many gold medals, so many, So, how is it happening?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is mainly to do with the kind of the sports infrastructure in the state.
Okay.
Now, it's not just the boys and the men who are utilizing it, but also girls and women from Haryana.
So boys are also doing equally good.
Sir,
Are the boys also doing equally good?
yes, sir. The boys are equally doing good.
Name a few.
Sir, Neeraj Chopra,
Okay.
who has won us the gold.
Uh-huh.
Sir, Ravi Dahiya, Bajrang Punia,
Uh-huh.
and also in the past we have Vijender Singh.
Fine. Nice.
So-
You are AGM Nabard.
Yes, sir.
The problem is there is a, I think, very reasonable belief that our farmers don't get right kind of return for their produce.
Yes, sir.
And the main culprit is inadequate marketing.
Yes, sir.
Their produce does not reach the market, the right market, and does not get the right price.
Yes, sir.
So what's the way out?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is true that we do not see a remunerative price for our farmers. And it is mainly to do with the value chain post-production.
Value chain?
Post-production of the
fine.
crop, sir. Now, there lies the real profit from 4 to 40 what we see in the market. Now, we need to ensure that the farmers get that kind of a bargaining power after the post-production cycle.
Okay.
And that is not possible for a single farmer to have. So we need to somewhere collectivize our farmers into things like farmer
When
producer
you
company.
shorten your answer, come to the core point.
So we need to provide farmers with the requisite transportation facility. The farmers need to create their own storage infrastructure
Okay.
and also venture into once they are done with these two aspects, the trading and the storage, they need to venture into processing of the.
Please.
All right, Abhimanyu,
Yes, ma'am.
do you think you have any of the qualities of the great Abhimanyu from the Mahabharata?
I believe, ma'am, I have.
Can you elaborate anything? Okay, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I believe that I'm nowhere in comparison to the kind of courage and fearlessness that the epic hero has shown. But, ma'am, when it comes to perseverance, I believe, ma'am, I have persevered. If we talk about, I have.
Yeah, we have seen that in the past. So one of these. What next?
Ma'am, again, taking risks somewhere. I believe I am doing it at times.
Okay, so you are a realistic and not averse to risks.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Abhimanyu, how did a shift happen from mechanical engineering in bachelor's to political science in your master's?
Ma'am, initially when I started preparing for civil services, I was not sure as to which optional to choose. So I first started doing general studies for my preparation.
Okay.
Now, during that point of time, ma'am, I had developed an interest in polity and international relations. So I believe, ma'am, that because an option requires a lot of depth, and only with interest one can develop it. So I found a bit more interest in political science vis-a-vis my option, my graduation subject.
Great. What do you think is better, gear drivers or belt drivers?
But both have their own utility, ma'am. You cannot say that one is better than the other. Both are used, ma'am.
One utility of both?
And belt drivers are good for when it comes to mass production systems and in the say factories, because of in conveyor belt systems and all. Then gear drivers are good for when it comes to the automobiles. So their utility is much, because we require different kinds of torque and power.
Just one last question, Abhimanyu. So you have been working in Nepal for quite some time. Personal question. So what do you think is one drawback of working in Nepal?
I believe, ma'am, that in Nepal, the decision making somewhere, it is a bit more concentrated at the top. So there is a little bit centralization of authority, and sometimes decentralization of authority is required for better performance.
Thank you, Abhimanyu. Over to the next panelist.
Thank you.
Okay, so Abhimanyu, so self-help group is very prominent in the government's long-term. So what are the problem or issues which self-help group is facing, because still it is not that success? The government is not happening.
Sir, I would say, I would rather contradict to this view. Self-help group, sir, is one of the most successful initiatives that government of India has ever taken after independence. It is the world's largest microfinance initiative. So coming to the issue, the basic issue is that we are serving the government is serving the most vulnerable and the most disadvantaged section of the society. So somewhere that awareness gap remains. Secondly, sir, there is the gap of providing requisite skills to the self-help groups so that they become micro-enterprises. Now, even when we provide them skills, there's an issue of requisite credit that comes in, because they don't have that kind of a collateral security. So these are the few things, and even if we make them like apt for some livelihood activity, then the branding and marketing, like they are competing with the best brands in the world. So these are few issues, sir. So challenges remain. But as far as the basic credit is concerned, I think, sir, we have come a long way, and today we have 1 crore plus SHGs that have been credit linked. Thank you.
Okay, so how did your interview go?
Sir, it was fine.
Good. In fact, last time you got 193.
Yes, sir.
So if you've done and written well, this time also you should make it.